Hello. Now, Ed.
That was your most heartfelt intro yet.
Hi. And everyone is saying that the sound is working. Look at that.
We didn't even need to ask you. You knew.
I have to tell you, as Ed lovingly got us some drinks.
All right.
Everyone was like, "Is it going to work? Is the sound going to work?"
I love that we have this reputation.
I said the chances were high, and look at that. Nailed it.
Good to high.
Nailed it.
Fab. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Tuesday stream with us, Media Molecule. I'm Tom, and this is Ed.
Hi.
How are you, Ed?
Hi. I'm really good.
Are you good? You're excited? You're hyped. I can feel that you're hyped.
I was a little bit lethargic, but now I'm on camera. Yeah, it's all...
Ready to go. Ready to go. We had a dog visitor here a minute ago. Laddie is walking around.
Yep.
It's a good day. It's a good day. We're going to do some music.
Yes.
Today, you're going to show us how to make some music.
We're going to do something like music.
Something like music.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to put this down because I feel it's going to fall off.
Okay.
But if there are questions...
Yes, please do. We saw some great questions on the Twitter posts, so we'll get to probably most of those.
Yeah.
At some point, and if there's stuff that you want to ask as we go, please do.
In the chat.
Yes.
Mr. Casey Jones does point out you have a hole in your jeans.
Oh no! Well, we're not on a crotch.
No,
so I had this one fixed.
Yeah, because that camera angle would be unflattering for that.
It's right there, isn't it?
Yeah, luckily you got just the knee. Yeah, just the knee. Right, shall we...
Thanks for noticing what I'm wearing, Casey. I dressed for you this morning.
Are we going to put these on?
I think we should.
We should, so I can hear your bangers.
Yeah.
Right, I might just check if there was any quick questions there.
Have you told people that we haven't actually got anyone on the mixing desk today?
No, actually.
So if there is an inconsistency or something wrong with the sound, just tell us and we'll go and fix it.
They're right there.
It's just the two of us.
We're just soloing it. Well, we're not soloing it because there's two of us.
This is duo.
This is a duo.
Yeah.
It's just us in the room. We can do whatever we want.
Ugh.
Right, where are we gonna start?
So I figured.
Let me just do that.
What have you done?
Now we're small.
Got it. So I was asked to do a music stream, and I thought, what could we talk about? And I think people who watch these tend to have done the tutorials. You've probably done the arranging clips tutorial, probably know how to use sound canvases and instruments, so we'd talk about the next step. And I thought about that, and I was like, what is the biggest problem that I have as a sort of composer sometimes? And I figured that it's actually exactly what I'm about to experience now, which is like blank canvas, oh no syndrome.
Right, the oh no's.
The oh no's. When you start something and it's like, I don't know what to do, and I've only got like 2 hours of dreams time today, and I don't know what... And I had this probably 1 day in every 5 days, like you just can't get going. And that's unfortunate, because like you have ideas, but you just sit down and for some reason it all just goes. So I thought it would be fun to talk about like how to get past that and just how to get started.
Sure.
And I guess the main way to do that is just to keep practicing stuff. So what we'll do is make a whole load of stuff, throw it away, and start again. And just go through that process of rinse and repeat, and just force yourself to make some stuff and throw it away and just keep doing that. Cool. Because you get better at stuff for practicing.
Yes, definitely.
So I've heard.
Blomback says, oh no syndrome is the worst.
It is.
It is. It's
the
bad.
worst syndrome. Oh no. Experiencing it now, I have to say, I'm a little bit nervous. I feel like a teacher who hasn't got a lesson plan.
Oh no, that never happens. I'm sure every teacher is always 100% prepared.
I have a sort of template for any bits of music that I do. It starts off with a microchip, and I like to grab one of these.
I thought you were going to grab some fog there.
Yes, a bit of fog. Little postage stamp music channel. And then I grab a timeline. All tracks sort of need these. I'll talk about that a bit later. Yeah. But like, you may as well just get this and save it as your like default music template.
What was that?
Is that someone trying to break in?
I think so.
Are we cancelled?
That was wow. Whoa. Okay. Anyway,
here is my little blank timeline, and like I'm already scared. I'm already like, what do I do with this?
What do you do?
So I think the first thing to do is listen to it. I'm going to turn the tempo on. I'm already a little bit like, crap, where do we go with this? I feel that it's actually a really good idea just to get used to the meter, the BPM. Yeah. Be at 1 with the metronome. I don't know if it's just me, maybe I'm a bit wired today, but that feels slow. I just like feeling
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, even though it's faster, it doesn't have to be like, that can be like half time. So I just like hearing more clicks.
Yeah.
Experiment with your own tempos, find a tempo that just feels right.
Falco Rich says, I made my first music loop last week and people don't hate it, so I'm happy.
Oh, good for you.
Good for you, well done.
Let's grab any old instrument from here. Sure. There we go. And the first thing is a bit of a music lesson, and I want everyone to practice this because it's really super useful. If you were John Beach and you were sculpting, he would absolutely have grid mode on.
Right, yeah.
Because it's really important to know that your sculpt is aligned, and the same is true in music. You want to have metronome and you want to have count-in mode in. And the first thing is a bit of an exercise. Just practice getting used to playing on the downbeat, which is beat 1. So it's going to give you 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 2, 3, 4. And just do that a bunch of times. Seems weird. I'm just going to add notes. Because I see a lot of people get stuck straight away by not using the grid. Sometimes it's very easy just to grab an instrument, stick it in space, and then hit record.
Yeah.
For example, if I was to just start recording on this, it might be tempting to go record. Oh, I actually had this on, so this is the importance of having it. If I didn't have these on, I have no idea where the bar line is. So just get used to having that click and playing on the downbeat. So let's do that a few more times. This is your first musical exercise of the day before you get warmed up. 2, 3, 4. And again. 2, and do it without looking. So we're getting that. The next thing to do with that is just make it 2 bars. Frame it.
Oh, okay.
And we're listening for it, and we're going to make this loop.
We know it's coming.
And I want to try and imagine in my head where that beat is, where the meter is.
Yeah.
Not too early.
Yeah.
So to practice that and to get used to having a bit of a groove going on internally, think about the internal groove. It's very important. Going to grab a drum kit. Was that the right one? Yeah, that'll do. This might seem boring. I know we're not making music yet, but this is a really good exercise.
Good way to start doing exactly that.
So if I put the metronome on, I can hear like whether I'm in time or not. And even though like yes, I'm jamming with this, you can do whatever notes you want. I want players to sort of get used to the idea of like playing in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now if I turn this off again, and we're going to try and do it in time when it goes round.
Oh,
without the metronome. See if I can get it. 8. Ah, rubbish.
Come on, man.
I'm not even going to fix it. It's going to do it again. So practice this for a bit. All you're doing is just getting used to there being a meter in your head. It's just useful sort of musical practice.
Yeah. Because even if you're not making something that's like flipping concerto.
Exactly. And you don't like when we say people are making games, rein in your expectations. You're not going to make a massive RPG initially. You're going to have to do a bunch of like practice things to get up to that.
Yeah.
That is a really basic exercise, and we're just going to get rid of it. Do something else.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some questions. So Sub Russian just asked a question.
Yes.
That's probably better for like nearer the end of the stream.
Oh, that's cool.
But is there a way to disable auto quantize for music recording?
Yes.
For free play music like classical piano.
Yes, absolutely, and it's up here
in that case, I'm just going to ask it now.
There you go.
Sub Russian would like to know: is there a way to disable auto quantize?
Yeah, it's just this button here, Music Snap. Turn it off.
Oh, okay, very cool.
And if you're doing that exercise where you're playing your own drum beat, you can try that and see how close you get to the grid lines. I tend to have it on for the most part, But
Yeah.
so another timeline, a bit faster. This is a brand new thing. Get my fast tempo and grab a new instrument. In fact, go back to the same one. Map, map, map. So, if you're totally new to music theory, which a lot of people are, the game will put you in a scale of C minor pentatonic. And we put you in that because it's the hardest scale to go wrong in. You basically can't play a wrong note.
Yeah.
It's this little helping hand.
Yeah.
Whatever note you play, they all go together. And I think when you're starting something new, maybe a good thing to do would be to not use all the buttons, even though you have like 8 in front of you. It's a bit. There's a real temptation just to be like, and it's too much. So rein it in. What I'm going to say is like limit yourself to using only 4 at least of those. And grab, say this one. Stay in the same key. Just like in music school, you know, you're taught to do scales. It's a good idea just to listen to the scale, so you sort of like put in that mindset.
Yeah. I'm so bad. I'd like try to do scales on guitar.
Yeah?
Can't do it.
Well, it's not really a scalic instrument. It's more of a
No, I guess it is.
thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good practice. And as you know, the scales here, they just correlate to the buttons that you can see. Just practice getting those two under your fingers, because a lot of it is muscle memory. And people who might find this frustrating to begin with, listen to someone who's already had a bit of practice, and it's just because you haven't like got the muscle memory of where they are.
Yeah.
So just play some scales.
Yeah.
So I was talking about limiting my first little bit of input to only 4 buttons, and arbitrarily I'm going to choose X, circle, down, and left. So I'm going to ignore those other 4, and those 4 buttons are now just under my thumbs. So they're just sort of like a bit more immediate. Let's listen to my click track. That's where I'm thinking. Just using those. Okay, so I'm going to do something just with those buttons. It's just playing games with yourself to try and give yourself some fun limitations.
Yeah.
You could just do like three notes or 2 notes or 1 if you wanted to. But like this is the rule I'm setting for myself for like a bit of fun. I'm just going to do a 4-note jam.
On the back of on the buttons, Embergs asks, are drum kits mapped to the buttons in any logical way?
They are. I'll talk to that in a bit.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
There you go.
that's a good question. Normally it starts with your right hand and it goes upwards in a clockwise manner. So starting here, goes clockwise. Right. So there's my little jam. Those notes speak to me, so I'm going to do that. Okay? there's nothing else to it.
Feeling in your soul.
There could be a million different things you could play, but like that's what I'm going to play. 2, 3, 4.
That's like, I like it.
Advanced
I like
stuff,
it.
right?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I can feel that's the basis of something. I actually really like the bubble punch instrument because it's got loads of different sounds.
Oh.
It's all you need in one instrument, basically. And that one was made by Todd, who made a bunch of our sort of more Dreamiverse-y instruments. I really like that one. Anyway, where to go next? Well, you can add more instruments. You can actually also think about adding sound effects.
Okay.
A lot of people don't think of this, but it's a really good way to add like uniqueness and character to your tracks. So I'm going to choose something from the sound effects menu.
I hadn't actually considered that.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these the sound effects and the music, the instrument are the same gadget essentially, and they can be changed to be one or the other.
Yeah.
So in here we've got a bunch of silly sounds. Oh yeah. I mean, that's definitely got some. It's vibing. So. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, nice.
It's got like a tonality to it. So I'm listening to that note. I think I need to actually pitch it to be in tune with. So it doesn't need to come up much.
And if you can,
I think
of course you can do it with sound effects.
there we go. Now it's in tune with it. And it just opens up a whole load more sounds for you. Most of the fun to be had with the music tool is finding new sounds. There's a ton of stuff by people who have uploaded things for the microphone. But check out the sound effect collection for some unique, weird stuff, especially twangs. Anyway, so this is going to be a snare. Yeah, that's what it needs to be.
That's exactly what it needs to be.
That's okay. I'm going to go back to add a bass drum to that snare. So,
we have Alex, Bogdan, and John in the chat.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Go away.
So you're being watched. You're being watched.
I was really rude to Alex earlier because I'm already nervous about this, and he comes and goes, "I'm going to produce the stream," and he's going to sit there, and I was like, "No, just don't you have a meeting to go to?" Sorry, Alex. You're welcome to come in.
He says add reverb ed or I may die.
No.
Who's reverb ed?
I'm actually going for a totally non-reverb here. This is my jam.
Super.
I was thinking about adding some drums to this. I think people tend to gravitate towards these electronic ones, and I would say just try some of these out for a change.
Right.
Some of these weird ones are Les Bogdan doing some beatboxing.
Yeah. I didn't realise.
Try something that necessarily, maybe the previews are so short, they're very hard to give you a full flavour of what the sound is.
Yes.
So in your daily rinse of a few ideas and throw them away, try an instrument that you may have not used before, or maybe you don't like the preview, and see if you can make it sound like something that's usable.
Yeah.
So here's the tribal drum kit. That's pretty, like, just a... But what you might find, again, if we're talking about pitching, is that there might be some secret tonality.
Oh.
There we go.
I'm in for that. Yes.
Yep. I like where it's going.
Yeah.
Okay, and on the first page you'll notice this envelope here. The sort of gradual slide means that is going to fade off as I release the button.
Right.
If I do this, you notice as I release the button, it's like, it's a bit more staccato-y.
Yeah, of course.
And I think I like that. It goes with the non-reverbed Alex twangs.
Yes.
Backseat driving, I don't know.
God.
What they like.
The cheek.
The cheek of it. I almost played this without the counting, which I've been telling everyone to do. So,
You gotta follow your own.
3, 4. Yeah, you liking that?
Yes, I'm enjoying it.
Secret sounds found only by pitching up the drum kit.
I guess that's the other thing is like the instrument, the clip you hear when you hover over an instrument is basically the bass version. You don't know what you could. It doesn't.
Yeah,
it could sound completely opposite. If you want to experiment.
Absolutely,
with
it might be some of these things. I think actually just dev talk we need to improve those previews to make it. They're a little bit hectic. Sometimes it's like all the notes at once, and you get like a second to preview it, which is like no way, not enough. So that's one of my things I'd like to do is to improve those previews. Anyway. So whenever I'm feeling a little unconfident about my musical ideas, which I am feeling a little bit about this.
It's a banger.
You know what is a good thing to do is the only thing that I've got as approaching music is this bubble punch. To make it feel more deliberate and like confident, the easiest thing to do is to double it and make something else play that exact same line. So that it just feels like it was meant to be there and it wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
So let's just clone it and find something else to play that. Boom.
Yeah, someone was actually asking about how you would take some notes from one instrument.
Ah, okay.
It's actually really one of my favourite
easy
things to do, and also to annoy Ed with.
Yeah, and change everything to kazoo, which definitely doesn't annoy me.
I do that. Alex says you can have 10-second previews, but you have to be nicer to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That easy.
Ooh. I'll think about it.
Alex, you're great. Ed loves you.
Yeah, you're wonderful. Thanks, Alex. It's moaning about stuff on stream, isn't it? So because we've got a low sort of bass note playing the doom, I'm going to choose something that's in the higher registers, just because there's no point playing that on another bass instrument, right?
Yeah. No.
Everyone's favourite glockenspiel.
Yes.
to replace an instrument, you just grab it and place it on top until you see it throb like that.
And then boom, glockenspiel.
And when you do go replacing instruments, first of all, check that the notes haven't like inadvertently gone in any of the new instruments effect fields. They're fine as they are here. But also, you're going to notice that notes that were played down low is going to sound rubbish on an instrument that's designed to be way up high. So I need to transpose this by just moving it up a few octaves. Select all, double click. Sounds like the opening to a Casey Jones game. Is that right? Could go higher maybe. Let's listen to this. There's your reverb back. Okay, that sounds a little twee. I like the tonality of the glockenspiel, but again, I'm going to just truncate that. I'm going to turn the reverb off because get lost, Alex.
Alex isn't even watching anymore.
Is he not?
He's talking
Fine.
to someone else. So go for it. Go for whatever you need.
There you go. I think that sounds a little bit more like the bubble punch is a deliberate.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I guess just thought processes. Like nothing else has got reverb at the moment, so like, why does this need it? Sometimes you might want to add that as an effect to draw attention to it, but I'm not trying to do this one to draw attention to it. No. I'm trying to sort of support something that's already there.
Yeah.
So it has to sound like the existing voice. Yes. So they're all sort of truncated and they're all dry in this particular example. We do another one where everything is like washed out and
Yes. Yes.
We can try it up the octave as well, maybe. Yeah, I think I prefer that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
So
yes.
This is probably the last thing I'll do on this track. Like, this is what I mean. Like, make something short like this, throw it away, and do another one, and we'll rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
It's like I really haven't got any more ideas.
And that gives you a chance to go over all sorts of
different ideas and genres. Yeah, totally. Not sure what genre this would be, but that's actually a really good point in that. When I don't it is hard to adhere to a standard genre unless you're all about that particular sound. Like I can't write rock particularly well, so most of my stuff starts off as something silly like this, and then I'll try and force rock onto it later.
Just electric guitar.
But if you get too if you get too hung up in like, oh, this doesn't sound like Blink 102 or whatever straight away, then that will be a blocker, and you need to get past that.
Yeah, definitely.
So all of this is about just embracing the silly nature of throwaway ideas.
Yeah.
We haven't had anything from this yet. Bogdan's favourite instrument in the entire world is my first two. He's done some incredible things with this. And this will demonstrate the power of the C minor pentatonic scale. I'm not limiting myself to any 4 buttons now. We'll use all 8 of them.
Yeah, full on.
And the touchpad. Oh, it's not looping. Can't have just an 8-bar version. So you really can't go wrong with that scale. It's just so forgiving. And
there are requests for this to be saved.
Oh yeah, of course.
Published.
Yeah,
so we will do that.
Absolutely.
So we can see this appear.
This is everyone's. So because we have a very non-reverbed, dry sound, it might be fun to actually make this one super delayed. And if you play with the different delay ones, you notice that it's going to be bouncing around all over the place.
It is.
So this one now will be no reverb, but a lot of delay. Oh, yeah, hang on. I like that. I'm going to record that.
That's great.
And that'll go around.
Yeah.
Loop. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's
so good.
All right, that's enough of that one. Off. Okay. Let's do the same thing again, just to sort of prove that it's a thing.
The way it works, yeah.
Do you have any questions for us?
Let's find out. If you have any questions, we have Ed here.
I'm gonna have a cup of tea.
We have Bogdan on the chat.
Why don't we get Bogdan in actually to do this after this track?
If he's around, yeah.
If he's free, come on the sofa, Bogdan, and we'll do a jam.
Where does is that my water over there?
Yours is that one.
That one over there.
You can have this one because I haven't touched it.
No, it's fine. I'll get my water.
Yeah.
I just need to prep myself. Oh, he's at home, so Bogdan will not be coming in.
Shame. I got everyone excited about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bogdan.
But he is there, so you can ask him things. I'm going to get my water. It's over on the table. Watch this.
Great timing. I'm having a tea break too.
We'll just if you've got a drink, take a drink.
It's 5-minute tea break.
Yeah.
This is just like a palate cleanser in between.
Yeah. Because now we're going to go like heavy. You know, some sort of like.
No, we are.
No, we're not. That's fine.
Okay, we'll go heavy, Tom.
Okay, we're going heavy. Right, I'm going over here to get my water. I don't want to.
Look at you, crab, walking over there.
Yeah.
It's like a crystal maze. This is an automatic electric shock.
Here we are. Yes.
Right, let's choose another instrument.
Tap Giles asked for some mixing tips.
Yes, he did. I've actually written out some tips.
There we go. That's over there.
It is.
The mix.
So mixing is one of those things that can be very waffly to talk about. So I didn't want to waffle. I've just written down some notes, and I will talk to you about that in a bit.
And also, maybe if we are going heavy, Donnelly Games, how to use distortion properly.
That's a good question.
That's a good question, even for me, because when I play music, basically just go.
Yeah. There is no right or wrong way to use this, and actually, the end result will be dependent on what you put into the distortion. You sort of want to tune it to what you hear. And one of the points I was going to talk about with Tap later is that all of this really is down to your own ears. Yeah. It's very hard to give answers like whether you're doing something right or wrong because there is no sort of visual thing on screen saying you're doing it right, good job.
Yeah.
You have to use your own ears and you have to compare things to other things in the real world and extrapolate in order to get the sound you want to. There's just so many possibilities. It's easier to talk about the things that you do wrong.
Yes. It's always easier to be critical than it is to be positive.
I find
unless you're a Dreams player and everyone's just super lovely.
Exactly. And you can't go wrong even with that track that we just made.
Well, you didn't go wrong, so you're fine.
What shall we make, Tom?
So we should
let's change the key.
Okay.
Do you want to choose one? If you don't know what you're doing,
I don't know what I'm doing.
So choose one at random. My name's Ed, so I'm going to go with E.
Nice. Nice. What's Mixolydian?
Mixolydian. That's one of the modal keys. I'm going to go for
okay.
Egyptian.
Yeah. Yes. I put that thought in your head.
You did.
Yeah.
I need some Mixolydian. We can do Mixolydian.
M. Bergs asked for a spooky scale.
Spooky scale.
That's nice. That's totally nice. I like it.
That's totally Casey Jones.
Yeah.
We figured out his secret.
Aha! Casey has rumbled. Oh, Emberg says that's nice.
That's nice.
Let's go.
Okay, it was nice.
Ignore me.
We can find a spooky scale. Spooky scale. That's. I think a Phrygian one would be quite spooky.
Oh yeah, that there.
Yeah.
That there is the perfect mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's good that we've chosen E because you don't get any accidentals. Okay, down a little bit. So in the same way as before, I'm going to arbitrarily choose some notes and limit myself to them because limitation is fun. I'm going to take E, C, C. The mysterious notes.
Yeah, nice.
You can add more. It's just a starting point.
Yeah.
It really helps to, especially if you're new to this. It's just like it's just a way of reducing the stress of having too much. And same with that track. We used literally 4 instruments. Limit yourself to like maybe just a few instruments rather than going, I have to use them all because you don't.
No.
And you shouldn't.
Please don't.
Let's find a tempo that we like with a click. I mean, I always go on the faster side, just because that's probably where my heart is beating. And the funny thing about choosing 3 notes as opposed to 4 is that it sort of forces you somehow into doing polyrhythms, which is just a fancy way of saying you're going to repeat the pattern before the bar. So you end up with rhythms that cross the bar line. So if it were a 4-note phrase, I'd be doing something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's predictable. That's when the metronome's telling me to. I'm going to be like, to hell with you, metronome. I'm going to do just 3 of those notes and then start the pattern again. So it's like a quick way of doing a very simple polyrhythm.
Comboms that are joined a little bit late.
Hi.
The tempo, the clicker, is the top 2.
Yeah. And we were talking about counting being really important, because when you start recording, you want to give yourself a little bar of... I keep forgetting the notes I chose. It was E, B, and D. So that's X, down, up. I'm just going to use those randomly and then see what happens. 2, 3, 4...
Look at that! Look how.
And forcing yourself to do like the same notes in the same order again makes things look a bit more like a pattern. And patterns are good in music. They actually help you find repeating phrases.
Yeah.
I start on that note. I don't want to end on it. I need to have a. Let's see. Oh, that's feeling a bit funky there. I'm not sure that was quite what I intended.
Oh.
I think this one. No right or wrong, really.
Right.
I just find that these thick lines are the main measures. And when I've got a faster tempo like this, stick to them. And if you do this, chances are it's going to be slightly out of time. Nah, it's just ruining the buzz.
No.
Okay, next. Chat, will you choose me either an instrument or a category of instruments? There's going to be a slight delay while I have my tea.
That's all right. Rabies asked...
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, sorry, I just didn't...
Is that the name that your parents gave you?
Goodness. Asks, when you want to write a melody of intervals or chords, do you always lean for the chords tool, or do you loop around on yourself?
Loop around myself. The chords tool is fine. I actually... A bit of both.
Okay, yeah, nice.
They're all fun tools to experiment with. Sometimes the looping method provides more unpredictable results.
Yeah. And
that's generally why I like to do that a little bit more. So, yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple of suggestions for instruments. I'm going to get M. Bergs is feeling me, the kazoo. But I think Ed will probably know.
I can do kazoo.
No, we have a few more suggestions. Have a look.
Yeah.
We have harp, triangle, trumpets, theremin, cowbell, vocals, harp, vocal, strings.
Strings.
A lot of people saying vocals. Slap bass.
You're so predictable.
I said kazoo. Someone said kazoo first as well.
Well, we've got a slap bass called Slapmaster, and it'd be rude not to use the Slapmaster slap bass. Speaking of the tools that we have available to us, if we go into this one and make. Especially with bass, arpeggios are going to be a little bit like, whoa, don't need that, too much. So let's turn on just the looping. And that's really heavy, it's too much. So
it's get funky.
The first thing I'm going to do is just shape the sound a little bit. It's too much. We can just do a little bit of this shaping. So this will give it a strong attack, and then the volume will come down very quickly. That's a bit more like something that will fit with this. So these sort of shapes, if we can make this really big, it's easier to work with. I do this an awful lot. The instruments that they come out of the box as may work straight away, but I'd say like about 50% of the time for me, I do want to do a little bit of shaping. Yeah. As you saw in the last track where we were truncating every single instrument.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need definitely my click track back because my funky little video game keys, whatever those videotape keys. Sounds like a Windows 95 CD-ROM demo game.
Oh yes.
And that was again like. If you ever feel the urge just to press all the buttons, try just to rein it in, and maybe if when something feels like you've had enough, just take another one and then listen to that for a while. Don't do all the
because it's just a mess.
It's just a mess.
You get then you start being like
yeah. You know, a lot of music is just repetition. So. Okay, so with my slap master, I'm gonna take it up the octave, believe it or not.
Just grab my slap master. Oh!
Yeah, it sounds better because when you play a slap bass, you've got a different technique for the upwards and downwards slaps. I'm not a bass.
Yeah, you're going like that, aren't you? You go up on.
Yeah, so these ones feel a little bit more, a little sharper. But now I've lost something in the low end. I'm just talking through my processes. I don't know if this is helpful to you.
I think that people are enjoying this quite a lot.
So I need to again make this more confident, and I'm going to make this like super subby low bass without that clickiness to it. It just wants to be low rumble. Yeah. And some of these are very just pure sine bass. Yeah, there you go. And I've chosen that one because it's a sine wave, which is a very pure low frequency. So when you play it, you should just hear.
Oh yes,
Rumbly.
that yes.
And again, we need to do a bit of transposition, which is take everything to the right octave.
Kif asks, what did you just press to select all the notes?
You just double-click X on any note.
Okay.
Some other hidden features that Bogdan was kind enough to add. You can preview by clicking this. You can select by grabbing Shift X up here. This is so cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Really handy. You can do the same by group selecting on the side here. So this is L1 plus X, and I'm just dragging a box. Really, really handy if you want to say, I want just those ones. If anything, those wants to go.
No. Oh.
Rumbling.
Yeah.
You know, and also, just to be super cheesy, let's do every other one of these down the octave, because this is already sounding a bit like an 80s action, like horror movie. Were you an F? No, E. Can't believe you didn't spot that song.
I'm so sorry. I was on and off moment. Oh yes, there it is.
Should we do the same for this one?
Yes.
Let's just make every other one. G. There we go. And if you speak to anyone who does music, they will tell you that they've probably got like a folder of rejected ideas. And that's just a really good way to practice stuff. It's just like keep them all, because you might like surprise yourself one day. You'll go back to like your bin of rejected ideas and be like, I'm gonna finish this and make it into a whole track and develop it. I think it's a bit loud.
Yes.
What do we need now? Someone was talking about vocals when they.
Meow.
It's you.
Let's use Choir Brian. I love Choir Brian.
Who is Brian?
Brian De Oliveira was someone someone we worked with actually on Tearaway.
Oh, cool.
And when we started Dreams, he recorded some instruments for us.
Oh, and there he is.
There's Brian in choir form. Wow, that's definitely the the horror movie that we're going for.
And it.
Yeah, that sounds. Look at you.
I took a sip just as you went. Whoa!
Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes, that'll be fine for a while, but I'll get stuck in this sort of 4-bar pattern, and I probably want to do a bit of like cloning into like key changing. This might end terribly because I want to do it quickly.
But we'll find out.
Yeah. When I want to change key, I don't really give it too much thought. I've forgotten what key we're in already. We were in like E.
No, one part of it was in E, but then the rest wasn't.
So we went from E, G. Let's just go up to A.
Yeah, man. Did you do that as well at the same time then?
Yeah. And this is going to sound horrendous because I haven't given any thought to like whether this will actually work. But if you ever stuck in that 4-bar loop, you just have to force yourself to do a key change. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Sounding good.
Yes.
Right? So, sounding good. With videotape keys, I think we're going to do what we did before, which is just give it a doubled instrument.
Right.
Just because I'm losing that ba-dum, 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 ba-dum
Yes,
thing.
of course, yeah, and you're falling into that trap. Yeah.
So let's make that feel like a confident instrument. Any suggestions that we could...
Oh yeah, my hand disappears. Look at that. Sorry. So someone's like, Tom's hand disappeared, and it does it.
What were you doing about it in the first place?
It's gone.
Good.
Sorry.
I'm glad that after a year of having a green screen...
Yeah, I realised there was no way for me to hide what I was doing. I was like, because sometimes someone mentions something in the comments, I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that, but this really I just had to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see what trumpet. People want some trumpets.
Trumpets.
What was that sound?
Who made that preview?
Amazing.
I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of our trumpets, and I think they need to be improved. So watch this space. Maybe one day I'll get around to it.
The other suggestion was the meows.
Sorry, it's off limit.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It's banned.
It's not happening.
It actually crashes the PlayStation if we use
Yeah. Oh, it is. Actually, that's.
So we'd never do it.
The only way James crashes is if you have too many meows in your.
Just one.
Just one meow.
You just need to select it.
Goodness me.
And you'll lose all your work.
How did you feel that? Yeah. How did you feel that first? That I think it was one of the beta creations. Was just those cats going meow 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 meow.
Using the sound. It was
Yeah.
great. I think I really liked that. So I had to be convinced to take it along to PSX, which is when we demoed it.
Yeah.
And it was Siobhan said, like, you have to take the meows.
Yeah.
You know, putting an instrument pack together, that's the best one. And it's like, it's not, but it was a really good way to demonstrate how you can build instruments from recordings.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I just cringe a little bit
You
now.
just hate it so much.
It's cool. I haven't heard many people doing it themselves, so
you realise what you're doing. You realise what you're doing here. There we go.
That's fine. You guys, I want everyone to do like a choir of meows, please.
Yeah. The new jam is garden themed, so now
is
the
it?
cats can be in the garden using the meows.
Absolutely.
Use the tips that Ed is giving to you from this
But
stream.
don't use my meow
Meows.
because again, you'll lose all your work. I don't know if this is going to work.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so musical theory time. Some notes are more important than other notes. They just are.
They just are.
That's how music works.
Get out of here.
There was actually a composer called Schoenberg who wanted to prove that was all nonsense, and he came up with something called the 12-tone... I'm forgetting the name of it. It was a 12-tone series. He wanted to give every note in the scale, which there's 12 of them, equal importance.
Wow.
And his rule was, because he was having fun making rules for like the way he composed in the same way we are, his rule was that I'm not allowed to use a note again until I've used every other note on the scale.
Wow.
So it was like leftism for music. every note is equal.
Yeah.
You basically end up sounding like random. Like,
Yeah.
and it's called serialism. Look it up. It's really good. If you like that sort of jam.
Yeah.
But he's wrong. Not every note is equal.
Yeah, if you're listening to us, Mr. Schoenberg, which you're probably not, because you're probably a little
probably
bit dead now.
I think he's dead. Yeah, it was like early 20th century. Serialism. Yeah. So certain notes feel more powerful. The root note of the scale is the most powerful. The octave is also the most powerful one. And I thought about this because we're doing trumpets and they're always used for hero themes.
Yes.
And the second most powerful one is the one right in the middle, which is the fifth.
Oh.
We haven't got that note on the scale.
Oh.
But if you listen to anything that has a superhero theme in it, it will always do. So bear that in mind when you're writing your music. If you want to feel heroic, go for the fifths. If you want to do something that feels magical, use the Lydian scale and this augmented fourth.
Oh, yeah.
So your Back to the Future is... something like that, I can't remember. Anyway, we weren't doing that. We were in
Where were you? Were you Phrygian?
There we go, Phrygian.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Knew it.
So I don't know what we're doing.
Smart me.
I hear it, so I need to mix it up a little bit. And this is very dry. Sorry.
Tap commented saying news at 10.
Exactly. There you go. It's epic. It's heroic, and it's used.
So good.
Tell you what, I'm going to leave that in there, and people can add their own.
Basket Snake says you can try and copy Ed, but nothing's going to trump it.
Oh, Basket Snake.
That's great.
Band.
That's a great track. I love it.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what accent I went then.
Love it. We can do another one, or we can talk about mixing.
Let's talk about some mixing because you got your tips.
I got some tips.
Yeah. Someone mentioned Western music, and Bogdan does not like Western music as far as and at PAX, I remember at PAX we did the West. Do you remember? Oh no, I don't think you were there at PAX. We were doing our 10-minute creations, and we were making a Western theme, but we were like, we need some music, and we brought everyone was like, no,
has to be Romanian.
I don't want to do Western music, and he had to do it, and he did like the most amazing stereotypical like cowboy showdown music. Well done, Bogdan.
Yeah.
Well done.
I heard some of those, and they were so good. Like every style that someone called out, like Bogdan had done like a perfect. There was one that was like a TV serial of like a hospital like show.
Oh yeah.
And he did this amazing, just like smashed out in 10 minutes, like hospital thing. I can't do that. It's really hard. Yeah, good on
Right,
you.
yeah, let's go through your tips on your big bit of paper.
So, as I said earlier, what was the question? It was about how to do mixing or something like that.
Yeah. I think it was like how to mix.
How to mix.
Dr. Drake, yes, that was it. The advert, yeah. Oh, anyway,
Straight Allied.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Anyway.
So mixing is, first of all, let's define it. The mix. It's very woolly, right? It's very woolly to talk about how to make the mix right, because every game is different.
Yeah.
And mixing is a subjective, creative process. The mix is basically everything you hear. That's what we talk about. We talk about the mix. It's the audio output. And mixing is the process of balancing and finding space for things with the available audio space that you have. Right? You've got a limited amount of space. You can't just like keep getting louder and louder and louder. So it's about prioritizing.
Yeah.
And you need to keep that in mind when you're mixing. So in real life, in the professional world, there's a few things that you do when mixing a game or a bit of music or something, and mix in a listening environment.
No.
And that, to people at home, just means like close the windows, don't have the radio on. Just be mindful of the fact that you're working with sound and try and reduce other sounds. Equipment. Get something better than a TV speaker.
Yes,
Yeah, headphones are probably most people's best bet. If you've got hi-fi or some professional speakers, great, go for that. But don't mix on a TV because there's a reduced frequency range normally.
Which is why every audio stream we get set up here.
Oh yeah,
with our headphones, don't we? Whenever we have you guys,
Oh no,
we always, sorry,
Because normally you don't.
Normally we do it all the time. No, normally we don't.
And in terms of equipment, sound bars, in my experience, aren't great. Hi-fi with like bookshelf speakers, probably your best bet if you don't want to be on headphones. Turn off any audio enhancements on your hi-fi or TV. That's obvious, should be anyway. You get like these sort of like cinema mode or just put everything to game mode, because that means you're not going to get any latency.
Yeah.
And you're also, hopefully, you'll get a flat EQ. The TV isn't trying to add bass.
Right.
You don't want that.
No.
And then, like, calibrate your ears. Now, that's slightly harder to explain what I mean by that. But if you listen to our menus, and you listen to, like, the PlayStation menu, these little beeps and boops, they're designed to be listened to at a level that feels comfortable for like buttons and background stuff.
Yeah.
You'll notice that our game is largely the same volume as the PlayStation menu. So turn your TV or your hi-fi to a level where that feels like a comfortable listening environment. I told you, it was really, really obvious stuff, but like some people have it turned way down. And if you're listening to that at a point where it's too loud, then you might find your mixes become like not the same for everyone. What else? General principles. Like I said, it's a creative process. It's it's subjective. You can totally make your own decisions about what you want to be have the priority in the mix. And all you're doing is making decisions about like how loud things are and where they're going to be in the sort of stereo space. It's only really difficult because it's very hard to see whether you're doing it right or not.
Yeah.
Because the only guide you have are your ears. And so there's no like big tick that comes up. It's like, this is well mixed.
Oh, well done.
You just have to sort of like, you have to train your ears to listen for things. And one of the things you can do is, going back to this, turn all your stuff down to a point where it's inaudible and then bring things up slowly to the point where you can just start to hear them.
Right.
Most of our sounds and most of our instruments, when you bring them from our collections, are probably going to be too loud for most uses. They're sort of loud so that you can hear them and use them.
Yeah.
But on the whole, you probably want to turn them down a little bit, just so that they're not like the most important thing. They sort of come out of the folder as if they're the most important sound or the most important instrument.
Me.
And you're not.
No.
You've got to coexist with all the other sounds. So turn things down generally, and then turn them back up to the point where you feel like they're as important as they need to be. I told you this was waffly. I'm sorry, Tappers.
No.
The more you add, the less space there is for everything else, obviously. So there's only a finite amount of real estate you've got. So just keeping that in mind, just let that sort of process guide and influence where you want things to be mixed and what levels you want things to be at. And the other thing that you can do to have space is panning. I mentioned that earlier, but like it's not only the volume of sounds, but where they sit in the left or right sort of spectrum. Going back to this wonderful track. Yeah, our favourite. All of these instruments came out of our collection, and they were panned pretty much right in the middle. So if we wanted to mix this track, almost every instrument that I grab out, I reduce the stereo width. And I'm doing that because I want that sound to have a more pronounced space in the left or right field. At the moment, you can see that I've got the left channel and the right channel, and they're quite wide. That means that they're taking up, if I was to like visualize where that is, the sound is like here. And I kind of want it to be somewhere, give it its own space.
Yes.
So if I'm going to collapse that down, if you're on stereo, you might be able to hear that. I don't know whether our stream actually has stereo versions.
No idea. I don't think so.
Let's collapse that down to like tiny, and then put that there. Okay, and I'll do the same for the bubble punch. It's It doesn't need to be a stereo sound because it's just.
It does
just
work
a
on the
very
stream. Everyone says this.
Oh, yeah?
works. Yeah, there you go.
Great. So the bubble punch now goes over here, and the glockenspiel goes over there.
I realised I have my headphones on the wrong way around.
Really?
I'm like, no.
Rookie error.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a good track.
This now obviously feels a little bit more. It should have provided a sense of space.
I think it's so easy. As soon as you hear something that's right, you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
Makes so
and
much
the
sense.
only way that you'll find what feels right to you is by playing with the sliders. We say this every time we do a stream. Is like just try it. There's too much to go through,
Yeah.
like one by one. But so with this is a very bassy, boomy sound. I want that to probably be right in the centre. You need my drums to be like either one side. Drums I kind of want to be in front of me. What else we got? Twang.
Oh. Ah, yeah.
You could actually record that, so that let's put an action recorder. And oh. So it's going from left to right. Does that work? Oh no! I messed it up. Let's do it again. So remember, all of these things are automatable in the form of action recorders, and I'm not sure why it thinks it's that long, but I can just do that.
Yeah.
There we go. I love that you see my hands shaking.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
And I quite like this track. I'm sort of addicted to it.
It's
now.
great.
One more thing I think we'll do is we'll give one twang some reverb. Oops.
Yes. Yes. There it is.
I don't know if that. I think it's just going to be like.
Doop-a-doop-doop. Yes.
It's always fun to add some audio effects on the timeline as well. This is usually what happens when I've sort of like, I need to move on. I shouldn't be doing this anymore. And then do a fade in.
Oh. Yes. Oh my goodness.
I hope you can see that we're having fun with this, and like you people want to go out and try making stuff.
Yeah.
I have to say shout out to Leadnail and the Dreams Have. Is he Dreams Have Meaning?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I was watching Abby take part in the 30-minute create.
Yeah.
This is so good. What a great idea to
Yeah.
have a bunch of people creating on such a wacky theme and time limiting it. It's perfect for this. If you ever want to do a music jam.
Definitely.
I'm in.
Yes. There you go.
I thought that was really cool, and you could do that sort of thing with your mates and not take it too seriously. Do we have questions?
We have. There was a question earlier. I don't know if we can cover that. We've got a few minutes about looping.
Yeah.
Like, any quick tips for looping tracks?
Looping. So you've got loop here, obviously. The way to loop back to a place that isn't the beginning is to add a keyframe. And shift X the playhead to say like there, I don't know, stop recording. This has to be set to keep changes, and then one way to do it would be just to hit on end trigger, go to that.
Right.
So as we loop this, hopefully that gets powered and it'll set the timeline back to here. There you go.
Right. Cool.
I think we could probably improve that flow in the future.
Yeah.
But that's how we did it on all the music for Artstream.
Yeah.
Like there might be another timeline which is like your intro, and then that would lead into your main loop. If that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think it gives them exactly how to loop it.
Cool.
Bella wants us to publish this, so we will publish this.
Yeah, Bella, think of a name, please.
Yes, name this track. Get to asks, I'm just going to read, I don't know what.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Would this be the right stream to ask about an example of music stems or procedurally cued musical compositions? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, we should do a different stream on that.
Okay, cool.
I think procedurally cued music stems.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fairly easy to do. It just requires like making your stems in the way you're doing it. Stems mean clips, that way. And using logic to govern when they're going to start and when they're going to be like audible.
Right.
It's more of a logic question than it is an audio, but there's a lot of crossover, and I think that might be one for someone else in the audio team or myself.
Sure.
I can come back next time. Talk about it.
Definitely. I think we would love to have you back.
It's probably more than a 1 minute answer.
Couple of name suggestions: Bang Twang,
which
I enjoy.
Yeah.
Twangy
Twang
Times, Twang Bang. Ed Safari,
Yeah.
Twanger from Alex, The Savannah, Jammin' Imps, not that one. Twangles. That's silly.
Yeah, these are all good suggestions. What's your favourite?
I like Bang Twang.
Bang Twang.
Yeah, I like Bang Twang. That was from
Yeah, good.
Bob Bob.
Bob Bob.
I like Bob Bob. Tootin' Twang. Oh, Tootin' Twangles.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
like Tootin' Twangles. Twangs and Bings.
Twangs and Bings.
Bang Twang. My first the tooting.
Yeah, thanks,
Oh,
Lombard.
I like Bob Bob.
Bob Bob.
Bob Bob.
It's hard to say. I think I'm...
Simply Loop.
Yeah.
We're just looking at these names now. Twangs and Bangs. I mean, that is literal, isn't it? It is. That's what it is. It's Twangs and Bangs.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe Twangs and Bangs.
Twangs and Bangs. Let's go with Twangs and Bangs. Bango Twango.
Bango Twango. That feels like you need to do a vocal with Bango Twango on it.
Bango Twango.
Bango Twango 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 Bango.
That's so good. Let me have a quick look. Are you looking on the Twitter in case there's any...
Yeah, there was a bunch of questions and I feel bad if I haven't got to them.
Yeah, let's have a look. I'll have a look now.
One was from Dirty Harold's. I loved the podcast. That's so good.
Yes.
Did you listen to it?
That is so good, isn't it? It's brilliant.
Oh, it's so good.
I love that it's in game as well. It's
Yes.
yes.
It felt like I was part of a story, and that I could only have been part of that, having been through all of Casey Jones's stuff and all of Dirty Howard's stuff, and like all it was just so good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well done.
Very well done. His question was
about syncing. I'd actually reply to this one. If you're using long recordings, such as long VO, they will likely go out of sync, and this is because there is a game clock and there is an audio clock, and the two try their best to be in sync with each other.
Yeah.
But as we know, games sometimes drop frames, and they will go out of sync. Doesn't matter if it's like a long sound like an ambience, because who cares if that's out of sync with anything. But particularly with vocals, particularly with sounds that need to be bang on, so like a long cutscene, for example, it's just better to slice them into tiny bits, and then you can use the timeline to sync everything.
Makes sense. Logan asked, can we control the playback time with keyframes, which is what we were doing almost with the looping.
Playback time?
Yeah, playback time.
Yes.
With keyframes?
I think that was what we did.
Yep. A question from the Dream Bubble forum was, is it possible to get an output of bass, mid, treble volume from the audio envelope? I hope it would be possible by using multiple speakers with different filters, but sound only plays from one at a time.
No, you can't. Because the envelope is actually pre-effects. So what the envelope gives out is the sound's most raw, basic form. It doesn't take in filters or EQ into account. So the way to achieve that would be to create an instrument that roughly approximates your bass, your middle, and your treble, and use the envelope out of that. But then make those instruments silent so you don't hear them. They're just giving you the envelope out. I think that'd be a way to do it. And it'd also be more accurate because you're more in control of exactly what those instruments are giving you out. Right. It's a really good use case, and it's something that I know we want to do internally as well. So,
sure. Tap suggests that maybe the person about the playback time was, I think they want to slow the timeline and speed it up using a keyframe.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Here we go. It's going to do it.
I mean, like, keyframe, record, slow, and something to input, potentially controller sensor. Set to radio control, and L2, into that.
Nice.
So yeah, your keyframes can hold a bunch of values.
And then you could link that with like trigger zones, couldn't you?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
So I mean, the controller sense is the easiest way to do that, but that could be when you're underwater,
Yeah.
when you're stuck in tar or anything. Yeah.
Nice.
Good question.
Someone was actually asking about it having it, like changing a song to be heavier during like combat,
Yeah.
and that would be a similar like.
Yeah. You might, in the case of this example, grab a keyframe and use the volume. So say our glockenspiel is action glockenspiel. We're going to set that at that volume, and then normally it's going to be silent. So we're going to use L2 again to control the volume of the glockenspiel. So if you watch, and that might be, instead of the glockenspiel, imagine that was all of your battle drums or tension music.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
you're just bringing it in. That'd be the easiest way to do it, I think.
Yeah. I think that we should say
Yeah?
that's good. That was amazing.
Cool.
I think people
That
found that
flew
very
by.
helpful. That did. Yeah.
I hope we do at least 3 more silly tunes. Maybe I'll do some for you and you can like...
You just give them out.
Yeah.
Well, we can do more Ed streams.
Great.
We'll have more Ed time.
Sorry if it was a bit of verbal diarrhea.
No, I think people enjoyed it. Thomas Selgin says, good tips.
Good.
Good tips.
Great.
Thanks for the stream. Thanks. I think people enjoyed it, Ed.
Cool.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Let us release this
Yeah.
into the world.
With the name of...
Bango Twango.
Bango Twango.
I love Bango Twango.
Cool.
That's amazing.
Great.
We'll release this so you can play around with it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you have any more questions, just let us know. We can answer them either on Twitter or elsewhere in the world. Just stand on the corner somewhere answering questions. Just sit Ed down.
Yeah.
Come find him in a park.
Just lock me in here.
Yeah, with his cat. We shall be back on Thursday with some community creations to play.
Oh my God.
In the meantime, have a lovely week. We shall see you then. Have a good evening. I'm going to reach over here. I'm doing a lot of reaching. I've not helped myself. Right.
Oh, this is why we should have more than 2 people.
We
on the
should.
Stream.
But it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, we
we've
should
been
hire
chill.
a
We've been
stream
chill.
monkey. It's been good.
Oh, we should hire a
Like a literal monkey.
literal monkey. Oh, it'll be good. That'll be great.
Train its press buttons.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We shall see you later. Bye.